Hello, welcome to Train of Thought. Train of Thought. This is the show, quote unquote show, where I have a train of thought and then I try to follow it for as long as possible. If you couldn't tell, I'm sick right now. Ooh. Oh god, it hurts, dude. It hurts. I didn't use any antibiotics or anything, because I think the medical industry is a scam. Think about it. Some dude put molds in a container. He sells it to you. I can get that mold for free. But this mold is sterile, and this mold will help you. It'll help you get the antibiotics for your infection. You know what? I can just get the infection, beat it up, and then win anyways. And after that, I donate my blood to people. Blood type? I don't believe that. I think that's just the government trying to get you to sell your blood harder. You know, normally when you donate their blood, they're like, what type do you get? Blah, blah, blah. You get money for donating blood, right? But if they didn't tell you about the whole quote-unquote types thing, dude, I would be selling my blood all day. I'd be a blood machine. They would milk the blood out of me. It'd be pretty nasty, actually. Finally, we'd have a use for all the girls harming themselves. They'd be like, and then their father comes in the room. Are you okay? What are you doing? You can sell all this blood. We can make so much money. And she's like, what? And then she gets wealthy, and then she's a girl boss, and she's no longer unhappy. But that's actually not true. You know how many unhappy rich women there are? They spent all their young lives trying to get money. And now they realize that they didn't want to get money at all. They just wanted to sit at home and do nothing all day. You know, you know how many people want to do nothing all day? I mean, there's quite a few, but I was thinking more about pets. Pets sit home and do nothing all day. Bro, I'm just saying, if we can get pets to labor like children, the world would be way more effective. Imagine, like, child labor. They're small, they can fit into places. The only problem is, it affects their development. You get an animal, they're small, they're already developed, depending on how old they are. It's like training service animals, right? Except, you don't even need to pay them. You don't need to pay them at all. You pay them with food and shelter. Animals are basically slaves, and we're not using them to the maximum capacity. I'm just saying, do you think, like, there was, like, you think they had, like, successful breeding, like, with slaves? You think they were like, yo, I'll take the strongest slave here, the most fertile one here, boom, put them together. Because, like, I don't think that would have worked, but, like, if they could do that, imagine, like, the potential. You can do that with animals. Dude, I'm just saying, we could have, like, the buffest guard dogs, and then they're, like, they just guard facilities. And, you know, all the places that guard dogs can't cover, the monkeys can get. Yeah, we get monkeys in the trees. They're violent to everything. Whenever they see someone on premise, boom, they tear their face off. You know, actually, speaking of tearing skin off, you know, I still don't get the whole foreskin thing, because, like, you know, they say you can hide stuff in there, but since I never had one, I'm thinking, like, how big could this pouch possibly be? I looked it up, it's not even that big. You could fit maybe, like, a penny in there, maybe two. But I'm thinking, like, why don't we make, like, foreskin-related paraphernalia? Dude, we could have, like, a foreskin wallet. It's like those, like, pocket pussy things. Like, okay, we already have, like, a wallet shaped like a pussy. Why don't we have one for foreskin? I think that would be a pretty good, like, you know, thing to sell. You'd sell it in a novelty store. Like, imagine going to the sex shop. You're like, man, I sure do wonder what lubricant I'm gonna get to have sex with my lover tonight. Oh my god, is that a foreskin wallet? And then you take it home, and then you're like, hey, lover, check out this foreskin wallet. And then they're like, that's disgusting. What is that? And then they're like, oh no, it's made out of authentic foreskin. They're like, that's terrible. You got a bag made out of human skin, dude. We make bags out of plastic now, but when bags are made out of skin, that was the jam. Like buffalo, dude, you would kill them, get their skin, dry it out, put it in a little pouch, put it in a bag, and then you'd feel it, and you'd be like, I remember how this buffalo's insides feel. Terrible, terrible. Have you heard tales of people, like, hiding inside animals? I don't think that's a thing that, well, obviously it's a thing that's happened. Like, TPs are real, but I'm just saying, like, the idea that someone's hidden an animal, like, to mask their scent, to survive, I'm like, dude, there's no way. Because, like, if we could do that, like, imagine all those games and movies and stuff where someone falls into a pit full of, like, dead people. Super inconvenient, by the way. Like, why do you have a pit of dead people? That's just, like, that's a police investigation just waiting to happen. Just throw them in the ocean like everyone normal. Bury them in the dirt. They'll decompose. You don't need to put them in a pit. That's unsanitary and unnecessary. You could store food down there instead of putting people down there. But I digress. All these things where people are, like, you know, in pits and stuff, or, like, among bones or blood and all these dead bodies and they're hiding. You think, like, they could just, like, hide inside, like, a really obese person? Like, cut them open, just put all the organs aside and just slip in there? Like, aside from like the whole idea of it being like terrible and disgusting, you think like it would work? Like they're gonna see the obese person split open, they're gonna be like, I mean, that sounds like something that would happen. Like, you know, he probably fell on the way down and then got split open. They wouldn't be like, oh, there's gonna be a little survivor inside there. Dude, I can't like get behind the whole idea of normal people. Like, you know, there's the whole idea like, oh, normal people, they're stuck on an island, they'll turn tribal, but like, will they really go to the extent of like just killing tons of people and throwing them in pits? I'm not gonna get over this whole like death pit thing. This is awful. There's a scene in Half-Life where the military people, I think they throw you in a pit and then they try to use the crusher, but it's like, why don't they have guns? They can just kill you. If they wanted to make it look like an accident, they could just like throw you to the aliens. I don't really see why they needed to put you in the crusher that you could escape by just stopping it, because actually the crushers are like they run the same system as trains, so you can just press E on it and then stop it. Which, if that was true in real life, that would be dope. Like, imagine, you know that scene from Star Wars where they're like in the garbage crusher and they got to use all the stuff to block it? I only know about that scene because of the Lego games, by the way. I only know about I only know about Star Wars because of Lego Star Wars. But there is that scene in there. Dude, imagine if they could just touch it and be like, I want you to stop. Dude, if we could have like remote controls in our hands where you could like touch stuff and then like control it, that'd be cool. But then you have to get like fingerprint identifiers all over it, and like, what if it just gets dirty and oily and grimy? It won't work. Then like, maybe there would be a way to get around it. Like, I always carry like, you know, I always carry a bottle of bleach and a rag around so I can wipe any grimy fingerprint identifying surfaces. But then like, you know, you'd assume there's some stuff like, oh, the high level authorities, they get access to these high roller machines because their fingerprints are unique. But like, do you think maybe they could get like a fingerprint caste system? Like at birth, they take your fingerprints, they sear them in, they're like, you are the poor fingerprint. Dude, that'd be crazy. I don't think it would work. It'd be funny if it could work. It'd be cool if it could work though. But like, realistically, it'd probably be, if they were to do something like that, it would be, they would mark you down at birth and then list your fingerprint, and then there'd be like a database full of fingerprints, and then they'd touch your fingerprint and identify it, and they'd be like, this is a poor person's fingerprint. Do you think poor people have different fingerprints? I wouldn't think so. I think most people are born like, you know, like human anatomy is the same. But do you think like there's like you know, okay, I know, not evaluation, what the heck? Evolution. I know evolution takes like tons of years, but do you think like we're slowly evolving? Like, yo, here's like the super poor class of person, and like they don't need to eat for 8 days, and the super rich class of person, they're like, if if they eat plain bread, they get food poisoning. It'd be like those video games where you start out with like a class or like a character trait, and like part of it's good, part of it's bad. So like RimWorld, you start out with like the rich thing. You're not very skilled and you're only one person, but you get a lot of stuff to come with you. Or you could be like the tribe people where you have a ton of people, but you get like no supplies. Dude, imagine imagine that, but for human races. You're born and then they're like, which class would you like to be? Dude, it'd be, if you could get like reincarnated and you can choose like what you want to be, like there would be no mosquitoes left. I don't know who, like, what evil bastards are out there like, when I get reincarnated, I'm gonna be a mosquito. Like, no, dude. If you get reincarnated and you're a mosquito, you're gonna live for 9 days, and then I'm going to kill you. I'm gonna personally make sure that your species goes extinct. And then they'll evolve, like, out of ants or something. They'll be like ant mosquitoes, because, like, you know how everything slowly evolves towards crabs? I don't remember if that was true or, like, that was a joke fact that I saw, but I'm gonna choose to believe it for now. If everything evolves towards crabs, I'm willing to believe that like everything evolves towards mosquitoes and wasps anyways, because nature is just really mean, and she would be the type of person to do that. Like, you think you can evade these annoying creatures? No, we have more of them. You know what I would like Mother Nature to do? I'd like Mother Nature to bring like dinosaurs back, but like nice ones. Like a dinosaur with the personality of a capybara. That'd be cool. I don't know anything about capybaras aside from the fact that apparently they are no predator has them as their prey. They just kind of chill and hang out. And I'm like, that's sick, dude. But I gotta wonder why. I don't know why. I'd probably know more why if I looked up, you know, capybara. I did some more research. But all I know is that apparently they're fluffy. They kind of look like beavers. People like them. I feel like beaver is not like the look that you want to have, though. When I think of beaver, I think of rat. Like rat that builds dams. And rats, no one wants to be a rat. Like, rat has the same connotation as snake. Dude, I was watching this video, and it was like snakes having sex, and they were like looking like they look like a Twizzler. They were like intertwined in like Ouroboros and such. And I was like, dude, why don't we do that as people? Like, if we just start like, the man puts his thing in, and then he just starts like spinning like a Beyblade when he's like about to come. Imagine all the torque from that would like propel the seed so much further. Dude, it'd be like super insemination. Like, guaranteed pregnancy. As long as your man does this one crazy trick, you will get guaranteed pregnant. Dude, if I could, like, teach dudes how to spin like a Beyblade, I would be like the sex instructor for all these advanced sex techniques. They'd be like, okay, guys, it's the 23rd century. Step your sex game up. You gotta unlock these ultimate techniques. They're like martial arts moves. And then they're like, first, you want to do the double triple whammy, which involves you like downing 3 cheeseburgers beforehand and then drinking like some sort of drug that transforms the cheeseburgers into pure power, which is like something that would only be made in America, because transforming cheeseburgers into pure power is totally something that would happen in America just due to how absurd it is. You'd take that and then you got to channel it. It's like chi. You got to like, you know, do the worm, not the worm, do the wave. I keep on calling the worm the wave because I think it's funny. I keep on calling the wave the worm because I think it's funny. I'm starting to think they're both the same thing. It's the one where you take your arm and you go, woo, woo, like you're a W. Like, you know, like wave starts with a W and that's why it's called that. Worm also starts with W, but that's called that because of like the animal. It has like a little like collar around its neck. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure all worms have that. I feel like they don't. I completely forgot what I was talking about. But, you know, I think if animals just like, yeah, I know a lot of animals like naturally have like, they look like they have clothing, but why don't we? Why don't we humans have anything that like looks like clothing? Like, you know, we have all this barely fur stuff, but like, can I get like a dapper little hat? You know, like a little flesh hat at the top of. Ugh, it's gross. Imagine if your baby comes out and like, depending on the type of hat he has, decides how much you value him. Oh my god, dude. My baby came out with a bucket hat. He's gonna be a skater. He's gonna be a skater. Or a weed smoker. Or both. Oh my god. I gotta get, like, my baby's first skateboard. My baby's first... my baby's first bong. The idea of, like, adult stuff, but, like, kids' versions is just always going to be funny. Because it's, like, a universally funny concept. There's so many universally funny concepts. But 21st century humor does not include those. The thing with 21st century humor is whenever someone describes it, they're always like, oh, my comedy is broken. Because they spend more than 10 seconds on a social media app, they find the funny section, and then they realize that none of it's supposed to be funny. It's funny because it's not supposed to be funny, and that's the funny part. They'll put in the stupid fart vine boom sound effect, boom, 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 and that's hilarious. I don't know what it is about like artificial sounds, but they're just so funny. Like reverb fart, that is not something you would hear in nature. That's probably part of why it's so funny. Like I hear a robot voice going Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime. Dude, I'm busting a gad upon the floor. I have no clue what that term means. I hope a gad is not like an organ. I hope it's more like a part of a car or something. I don't know why you would bust it though. That doesn't sound good either. But 21st century humor is basically a bunch of inside jokes disguised as like memes, which I mean, what the definition of meme? Wouldn't that just be like a common joke of the time? But most memes are really inside jokes, and until you're inside on the joke, it's you know, it's some stupid phrase. And when you're in on the joke, it's funny. But when everyone's in on the joke, it turns from inside joke to meme. And then when it turns into a meme, it's no longer funny. There are some trends, that's what I want to say instead of memes, like Bongo Cat. Dude, I hated Bongo Cat. It was cool the first time, but after I saw him after like the first 12 days, I was sick of seeing his little face. I do not like seeing cute things be viralized like a disease. I guess spreading cute stuff is cool and everything, but like the deep cynicist inside of me goes, no, you don't want anything cute to be spread. You want negativity to breed this world. That's why you watch incel videos and red pill, black pill mantra. Dude, the red pill, black pill stuff is really funny because you'll be like, it's the same with SJW own videos, or like, here's what's wrong with society. Why are people still transphobic? Blah, blah, blah. All these videos are like, you'll agree with them and such until until someone else goes, yo, this is kind of ridiculous. And then you're like, this is kind of ridiculous. Why do I care so much about something that will never affect me? Like, don't you know that all women actually go after the chads and a perfect jawline and body structure? I'm certain there's some grain of truth to that, but that is not universally true. And so when Milky comes explosion, I got interrupted, so I lost my train of thought. Now I gotta go. The show's over. Train of thought ended.